Hello, busy dads and busy people everywhere. Um, I'm making this video um, just to update all of you on my current training situation. Um, you might recall that yesterday when I started that Navy SEAL workout, I was in a pretty bad mood and I needed my training to help me turn around my day, and it really did. But there was still a little bit of residual frustration that I needed to get out. Um, and so on my way home, I wanted to hit the heavy bag a little bit. There's a punch bag just near where we live here in San Diego, and very foolishly and embarrassingly and inconveniently, um, I wasn't wearing any wraps or gloves, and I hit the bag way too hard, um, and I have a small fracture in my wrist. As a result of that, the pain was pretty brutal, which means that burpees are off the menu for a good couple of weeks while I wait for my hand to heal up. It's just not possible right now to put weight on it or to lift things. So I'm having to live with the embarrassing consequences of a dysfunctional hand as a result of a very stupid thing that I did. It means that it's much harder for me to take care of my daughter. It's harder for me to stay on top of all of my different kind of duties as a father, as a friend. It's a very frustrating situation to find myself in, especially knowing that I'm the one who put myself here. So in a way, the fact that I can't train burpees right now is the least of my worries. The real project for me is going to be working out how I can keep showing up in all of my other responsibilities. But of course, the Busy Dad 18-minute training protocol is sacred. I say it every time I talk about this. Unless you are in a hospital bed, you can train. There's always something you can do. And there are many things that I can still be doing, that I will be doing over the coming weeks. I'm going to be paying many visits to Squat City, my friends. Maybe some of you will want to come with me. I'm going to be slapping on the 20-pound vest and just hitting hundreds upon hundreds of squats, sometimes thousands. It's going to be a time to really show my legs some love, show my legs and my core some love. There'll be some one-arm burpees again, some one-arm push-ups. We find ways of working around these things. Okay, we've been here before. It's not an issue. For the rest of this week, I'm going to take a little break from the channel. I'm going to be doing some running and some interval training for the rest of my 40 minutes for this week, which I can't really film or share with all of you. Starting next week, I'm going to be getting busy with squat training, with one-arm burpee training, and so on. I just want to share a kind of message with you briefly about what to do when you're facing a layoff from your ordinary training. It's easy to get demoralized. I was really back in love with burpee training. I was telling all of my friends about just how I felt like I was going back to my roots with returning to the Busy Dad program. I felt like I was just starting to make progress towards those graduation goals again. And now burpee training is off the menu for probably a month. And it's very important not to let that sap your morale and not to let it distract you from your identity as someone who trains. Okay? So you have to find ways during a layoff of holding on to that identity. A couple of ways that you can do that. One is finding alternative methods of training. That's crucial. But there will even be times where you can't train at all. And then it's like, how do I hold on to this conception of myself that I've built as someone who trains, someone who takes the discipline, who has the discipline needed to live that life, to be on that path. And for me, the really obvious things are that we can focus on our diet. I've had injuries before where I just let my diet go to shit because I'm so depressed, and that starts a kind of downward cycle. Don't go there. Tighten up on the diet. Maybe use the time that you have to study some new forms of training that you'll do when you return. Perhaps study some new nutritional protocols, some new approaches to, say, fasting. you don't need to give up on this identity just because you can't train in the way that you're used to doing. Now's the time to really, really sharpen up on other things that maybe might have been peripheral to your training practice beforehand. So for me, I'm going to be experimenting with some slightly longer fasts, some kind of 18 to 20 hour fasts. I'm going to be really going back to my roots in terms of whole grains, legumes, vegetables, and I'm going to be enjoying new training modalities that I'm not used to, that are going to challenge me in new ways. So I'm feeling frustrated but good about my training, about the next month or so, and I really hope that some of you will be able to come on the journey with me with the heavy emphasis on squat training. And yeah, if any of you, like me, are facing some kind of layoff for whatever reason, self-inflicted or otherwise, keep your chin up. There's always something you can do. Okay, let's handle this with a bit of dignity, and before we know it, we'll be back to our normal training practice. That's all for now, my friends. I'll see you next time.